Coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Here's Winston. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And down to the 7-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
This is Peyton Barber. He led them in rushing a season ago. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And once more, this play going in the wrong direction. The Saints get to him behind the line again. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Third and goal, Winston. His pass caught at the 4. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Check. 13.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Let's go, D.
Winston from the gun on third down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball? Not
easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. On the return, it's Kamara. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive. Successful toss play to the right there. It's interesting. Teams seem to run the toss a lot more to the right than to the left.
It's usually a little more natural. Right-handed quarterback, typically your power side running the ball is to the right side with your guard and your tackle. In college football, they used to call it student body right because you had everyone on that side, including the fullback, leading. In the pros, they don't call
a breakaway from Michael Thomas. 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone, and the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
something
well.
else. And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Past the 20, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Peyton Barber. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A 2-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They run with a former Viking and Raider. It's Latavius Murray. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. From the 36, Breeze. Throw left side complete. That's Arnold. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. And that's caught by Smith. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 43.
The Saints spent a 3rd-round pick on Traquan Smith out of UCF in 2018, and what a thrilling season for him. He was the guy that caught the pass from Drew Brees that moved him past Peyton Manning to become the all-time leading passer in NFL history.
Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Breeze, and it's held in by Jared Cook. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Jared Cook, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints have retaken the lead. Lutz with the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium. So the Browns already playing their 3rd primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On 3rd down, Winston. He's going to look deep down the field, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So here are the Saints to take over. They've dropped 4 straight games coming into this one, remember, but they have the lead here. So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 20. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instinct. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Breeze now. Open man is Michael Thomas. Thomas barreling ahead. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on third and medium to pick up the first. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Add this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays. That was huge after being behind the chains on first down to make this second very manageable.
Man, how much pride do you have in an offense on first down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on second down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that phrase, stand ahead of the chains, and they're doing exactly that.
11 yards there, first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Levante David in on the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. That's caught, it's Thomas. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And the Buccaneer defense for the second straight play, flexing its muscle by forcing a loss. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Drew Brees does it again. 3 first-half touchdown passes for him now. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? the back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Here's Winston. Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Winston. And Watson has it right side.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
To the air again with Winston. He sets up the screen to Jones. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Winston in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Jameis again. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And with the Buccaneers' new coaching staff, you have to figure they're going to want to use O.J. Howard a little bit more this season. 34 catches, 565 yards last year, but that was in only 10 games. 6'6", 251, and can run. Find a way to get him the ball as they just did there.
Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Gay's kick is good. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. They run it again with Kamara. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Murray. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Here we go.
From the gun, it's Breeze. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Bo Allen in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
36.
Draw play, Winston to Jones. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Jameis to throw it. And Brate has it over the middle. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can tempt to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game.
A breakaway for Michael Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. 4 touchdown passes now for Drew Brees. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. He completes it to Evans. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On second down now, it's Barber. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway, because that's your strength.
On third down, here's Jones. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. O.J. Howard, his second touchdown on the season, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so, because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up, whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook. 1 play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was really easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
Check 20. Over. Check now. Kill.
A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. And the box with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Shotgun now for Breeze. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. Fielded just inside the 20. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
David Onyemata there on the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. A big play, 3rd and 2. This crowd dying for a stop.
What we got?
Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Let's go.
That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A first down throw for Winston. The battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jamario Davis.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Opposite.
Again, it's Kamara. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 7.
The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. Breeze now to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw, Winston. And a catch right side by Evans. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, his third touchdown now on the year, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the fourth quarter. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They'll try and run it in. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down one. What's the sense? I like what they did.
This one taken from the 7.
We got this.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
On second down, Kamara. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a third and about 5.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 38-yard line.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker.
Okay,
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On the ground, Kamara. And he's taken down inside the 30. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Kamara. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Important extra point up and through, and it might seal the deal as that makes it a 2-score game here with not a lot of time remaining. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Winston readies the offense. Down by 9. A minute 46 to go. They've won 3 in a row, but they've got work to do if they want to get a 4th in a row as they come up on first down. Here's Winston. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. And he finds Howard complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. To throw again on 2nd down. Winston.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Winston to throw. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 28. Winston. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
11 more on that one and another first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Trey Hendrickson in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. He's got his man on the crossing route. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. The Bucs on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. One last shot now for Winston. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Eli Apple. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for New Orleans, it took a while, but they finally get that first win after 4 straight losses. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.